The financial markets can feel like pure chaos, right? Just a constant barrage of noise. But what if you could cut through all that? What if you had a clear blueprint, a step-by-step guide to focus only on the trades that really matter? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today using the super detailed trading journal from VinnuFX. All right, so here's the game plan. First, we're going to see why a structured approach is so important for getting clarity. Then we'll build what we're calling our high-level compass using the big picture weekly and daily charts. After that, we dive into the intraday battleground. Then we'll get super granular on how to pinpoint the entry, and finally, we'll cover the secret sauce, how to execute and grade what's called an A-plus trade. So, at its core, this whole method is about one thing: bringing order to that chaos. It's a structured process that works by looking at the market from a bird's-eye view, the weekly chart, and then systematically funneling all the way down to the 1-minute chart. And that's really the big difference, isn't it? We're trying to move away from just taking a guess, from trading on a gut feeling, and moving towards a logical system you can repeat over and over again. This top-down approach is what separates professional analysis from, just throwing darts at a board. Okay, so time to build that foundation. Before we can figure out where the market might be heading, we've got to understand where it is right now. And we do that by looking at the weekly and daily charts to see where the big money, the institutional players, are placing their bets. First up, we've got this key idea of premium and discount. Just think of it like shopping. The big institutions, they want to buy stuff on sale, right? That's the discount zone. And they want to sell it for top dollar. That's the premium zone. Just by identifying these areas, you get a massive leg up on understanding the market's overall mood.
So how do we actually find these zones? Well, it's pretty specific. The system has you mark 4 key levels from the week before: the high, the low, the open, and the close. And why these 4? Because they're like magnets for liquidity. A ton of orders are just sitting there, which means these levels act as major boundaries for the entire trading week ahead.
Now, let's zoom in a little to the daily chart. Here, our main compass is the VWAP. That's the volume-weighted average price. And this thing is like your instant power meter. It's so simple but so effective. If price is above the VWAP, the buyers are winning. If it's below, the sellers are in control. That's it. And there's another key piece to this daily puzzle, the fair value gap, or FVG for short. This little 3-candle pattern shows you where price moved so fast it kind of left a vacuum, an imbalance. And these gaps act just like magnets, giving you really powerful targets where price is very likely to revisit. Okay, so we've got our high-level view. Now let's drop down into the trenches, the intraday battleground. We're zooming into the 4-hour and 1-hour charts, and this is where that big picture bias starts to turn into an actual tradable strategy for today. And on these charts, it really just becomes a checklist, super systematic. Step 1, what's the trend doing? Are we making higher highs and higher lows, or the opposite? Step 2, you mark out the high and low of the Asian trading session, because those levels often become targets later. Step 3, you watch yesterday's high and low like a hawk. And finally, step 4, you wait patiently for a very specific signal to tell you the momentum is real.
And that confirmation signal? It's called a shift candle. Now, this isn't just any old candle. This is a candle that closes with some real oomph, decisively, with strength, above or below a key level like the daily VWAP. It's basically the market shouting at you, okay, conviction is here, let's go.
All right, we're getting to the pointy end of the spear now. We're zooming all the way in. All that high-level analysis, all that intraday observation, it was all leading to this moment, finding that precise, low-risk entry on the really small time frames. I want you to think of this as your final pre-flight check. Before you even think about clicking that button, you run through the list. Is the market structure on my side? Is price respecting both the daily VWAP and the New York session VWAP? Is a key level holding? Is there an FVG to back me up? And has that all-important shift candle shown up? When you can tick every single one of those boxes, boom, that's your setup. So, you've done all the analysis. You think you have a setup, but how good is it really? This is where the VinnuFX method gets really cool, because it uses a simple grading system for total clarity. And this is what I love about this method. It turns all that complexity into a clear decision. An 8+ setup, that's the holy grail. Everything, and I mean everything, is lined up perfectly. An A setup is still really strong, but maybe there's one little thing, like you're trading inside yesterday's range, so you adjust your target. In a C setup, well, that has a major red flag, like the daily VWAP is against you. That means you've got to be super careful with your risk, maybe just aiming for a simple 1-to-1 return.
And this quote from the journal it nails it, doesn't it?
For that A-plus trade, you get in only when all the parameters line up. You already know your exit, a 1 to 1.5 risk-to-reward ratio, and you take it when it gets there. You don't get greedy, you don't hope for more, you just execute the plan. That's pure discipline.
So you see, that A-plus entry signal isn't some magic thing that just pops up out of nowhere. It's the final piece of the puzzle. It's the logical end result of a journey that started way up on the weekly chart, got clearer on the daily, turned into a strategy on the hourly, and then you waited with patience for that perfect confirmation on the 1 minute.
And that kind of leaves us with one big question, doesn't it? When you have a blueprint laid out for you that's this detailed, this structured, is the real challenge executing the strategy itself? Or is the real battle with the person staring back at the screen?